Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Juice Baseball channel, and welcome back to the Cincinnati Reds rebuild here on MLB The Show 22. We are coming off of a very depressing episode in the last one. We played the postseason, and we did not even get out of the NLDS. We had the best record in baseball and did not even get out of the NLDS, losing to the Giants in 4 games. It's unfortunate. It really is. But we got to go back and figure out what to do in the offseason. We got the offseason episode today. The pitcher rotation, we're going to have to figure something out because we have the Cy Young winner in Quinn Priester. What do we do with Shohei Ohtani? What do we do with Shohei Ohtani? This is the final season. We are entering the final season of the rebuild. Do we keep Ohtani for one final run? Or do we trade him to free up a little bit more money and go after another crazy pitcher that could possibly help us? We're probably going to trade Jordan Hicks. We got a lot of decisions to make in this final offseason. This is one last chance to win us a World Series. If we take a look at the GM goals, we've been bad, and then we've been really good. We've made the postseason 3 times. 2 out of those 3 times lost in the NLDS, but the one time we won the World Series. So it's been very up and down, and we are ready to go into the offseason, advance the day, start the postseason. We have to hire some coaches, view the retired players. Anybody of note that is retiring this late into the franchise? Jose Iglesias, D. Strange Gordon retires. I don't think there's any Hall of Famers in this class. Jackie Bradley Jr. in free agency. Anybody else in free agency that's a big name? Anthony DeSclafani, former Red. Delano DeShields Jr. Matt Duffy. Chichi Gonzalez. Billy Hamilton, a former Red, retires. Very interesting. Clayton Kershaw could be a Hall of Famer. Very interesting there. Lance Lynn, JD Martinez. Okay, so there's some good names in here in free agency that are retiring. I think that out of AJ Pollock, Yasiel Puig, I think that there could be, Chris Sale too. Scott Schebler. I think Clayton Kershaw could make the Hall of Fame, and he does. 2007 to 2026, 241 wins. Had 1 save, and had a career ERA of 2.73. That's definitely a Hall of Fame career. And now we go to exclusive free agency. We got to hire a new third base coach. So who is a good third base coach for this final season? David Young? Sure, why not? Let's give you $3.6 million. You should be able to accept that, hopefully, and that'll be awesome. So there that is. We're not going to rebrand the team. We only have 3 exclusive free agents: Casey Mize, Lucas Sims, and Zach Britton. I definitely want to bring Casey Mize back. The Reds have not tendered a qualifying offer of 19.7. Okay, so if we do that, if we tender the contract, we pay him 19.7. Is there any way we can get cheaper than that? No. So either we tender the qualifying offer, which we did for both of these guys. I think we could get away with a little bit less. 4 years, about $8 million a year for Lucas Sims. We'll see if he accepts that. That's $27 million in pending money. We have 79 available. I think I'm just going to let Zach Britton walk. Unless, what's his market? 2 years, about $1 million. I don't hate that. Actually, a little under. So that's $28.6 million right there. Let's advance a couple days to see if we sign those guys. Zach Britton does accept, so that's good. We have about $78 million left, and we have 27.7 in pending. The third base coach does not accept yet. David Young has accepted. So now we have our full staff for the final year. Those 2 guys still have not accepted their offers, but now we go into regular free agency after today. So let's do that. And now we make it to free agency. So we have arbitration. A lot of guys need arbitration, a lot of big-name guys. And a lot of big-name guys need tendered contracts. But let's go to free agency and see who's available. We have $69 million. Does that mean somebody signed? Did Casey Mize sign? Or did Lucas Sims? Lucas Sims signed. So he's here under contract for 4 seasons, $8 million. So Lucas Sims is here, but Casey Mize still has not decided yet. There are some very interesting names here. Trevor Rogers is obviously here, but I'm going to stay away from Trevor Rogers. There's Casey Mize. Ian Anderson, Tristan McKenzie. I don't think there's a pitcher here in free agency that I really need to go after. So, relief pitcher, Garrett Crochet. Oh, okay. If any of you guys have ever watched my Chicago Cougars series, Garrett Crochet was an absolute animal in that series for me. That could be a good pickup too, but we'd have to outbid the White Sox. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Catchers, I think we're fine on catcher, especially if we bring back Adley Rutschman. First base, not really seeing anybody here. Andres Jimenez could be kind of interesting. He's got nobody offering him. But we have Jonathan India. Isaac Paredes? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I apologize. Nolan Arenado, but he is 35 at this point. Alec Boehm. Xander Bogaerts is 34. He would just be like an extra body to have on the team. I don't know if we need that at this point. There's Nick Senzel, 31 years old. Harrison Bader. I mean, Ronald Acuna. That would be too dumb, right? That would be too dumb because we then have to trade Kirilloff. We wouldn't be able to have anything with Kirilloff because we have a right fielder, we have a left fielder, we have a center fielder. The only position that he could fit in is the DH. I think we just stick with the team that we have. Maybe, I mean, we have to bring in some arbitration. I mean, we have to bring these guys back. This is just, let's figure this stuff out. So arbitration for Julio Rodriguez. He's going to want a ton of money in regular. So let's just capitalize on the arbitration. Submit that offer to Julio Rodriguez. Submit that offer to Logan Gilbert. Ronnie Mauricio. Definitely got to make sure all these guys come back. Definitely Adley Rutschman. I mean, they're arbitration eligible. We might as well capitalize on it. It's going to take us a lot of money. It's going to give up a lot of money. But we got to have these guys back. Hunter Green, Alec Thomas. This is going to be our entire budget. This is going to be our entire budget right here. And that's not even the tendered contracts that we have. So, Tamar Johnson. But we still have to get rid of Jordan Hicks. Don't forget about that. Still have to get rid of Jordan Hicks. Jesus Luzardo. Want to bring him back. Definitely want to bring you back. And Cutter Coffee, might as well offer you as well. So we offered all the arbitration to those guys. $76 million in pending contracts, which is more than what we can afford because we need to bring back all these guys. So that's not good. Make an offer on Matt McClain, a 3-year deal. I got to get cheaper than that. How cheap can I get it before he rejects it? Okay, so we can get him for about $4.5 million. That's not bad. I'll offer that. Carter Jensen, I think we can get for pretty cheap. Yeah, $1 million over 2 seasons. I mean, we're not going more than just this season, so we can get some of these guys pretty darn cheap. Isaac Pacheco, we can take him down into the thousands, the 100,000s. Oh yeah, we can get a ton of cheap. We can get a huge bargain deal for him. $85K over 2 seasons. That's a big bargain deal right there. And we can get Antoine Hansen for $55K for 2 seasons. Let's offer all these. I'm going to offer these contracts just to see how much money we have to free up to be able to pay so we're not over budget, because we're getting close to 20 million over budget. So we've got to figure out where we stand in terms of the money so that we can then go ahead and move the contracts around that we need to move around and then eventually be over budget or be under budget, basically. It's a good thing that this free agency class isn't like amazingly good, because it would make me want to sign somebody that I don't really need to. Because we don't need to sign Ronald Acuna Jr. Obviously, it would be amazing if we did. That would certainly put us over the top. But we don't need to sign Ronnie. We just need to bring these guys back just so we have depth in the minor leagues. We have bodies in the minor leagues. And we are almost to $20 million over budget. Getting very close. Bobby Hampton, Rocco Rodriguez, Javier Batista. And these guys won't factor in because since we're only going one more season, they don't really matter. But I just need them to fill out the minor leagues. You guys know the drill. All right, Ben Leeper, hardly know her. Will Marbury, Robinson Pena, Gary Fenter. All right, perfect. Or Gray Fenter. So we're 84.6 with everything offered, both in arbitration and tender contracts. So that means we need to move on from probably Shohei at this point. Definitely Jordan Hicks. Definitely Jordan Hicks. I don't know where I want to go, though. Jordan Hicks needs to be out of here for a bullpen guy that's not making a ton of money and is still decently good. Unfortunately, we're at that point in free agency where there's not really anybody here under contract, so we got to try and figure out that. Why are all the relief pitchers making so much money? This guy could be good. Eric Orz? I don't know who this is, but he would save us a ton of money and help us out. Let's see if there's another guy around that kind of value, because that could really help us. It doesn't quite look like it. No, I think we're going to go back to that guy. What was his name? Eric. I think it was from the Diamondbacks. Yeah, there he is. Eric Orz. Let's trade him, Jordan Hicks, to the Diamondbacks. We get a pretty solid bullpen guy under contract for 2 seasons. And we freed up a nice amount of money to help us out. It's still not enough. Still not enough. We still need about $9 million freed up, which is where Shohei could come into play. That would give us plenty of money. But what do we get in return? Who is equal value to Shohei Ohtani? That's hard to quantify because Shohei is so good. And he's been so good for us over these past couple of seasons. But his contract might just be too big for us to make it through. Bubba Chandler? I mean, that would be crazy. If we traded Shohei Ohtani to the Pirates for Bubba Chandler, I can't see that happening. Julio Urias would not help us. Jack Flaherty would not help us. Shane Bieber probably wouldn't help us. He went 18-8 last year, coming off of a 15-8. He's had 2 really good seasons. It's a little bit cheaper, but not enough. It's not cheap enough. I wish there was a starting pitcher that was really good that was cheap. I don't think we're going to find that. I mean, Brandon Woodruff, 18-4 last season on the Tigers. That would certainly free up the money that we would need. And we'd still have value to get back somebody else. But the Tigers don't really have anybody under contract. I think we're going to have to wait on the Shohei trade just for now. Let's just wait on the Shohei trade for now. Let's move into free agency. Trevor Rogers signs a 9-year, $209 million deal with the Nationals. Casey Mize signs with the Cubs. Okay, so he didn't accept his qualifying offer, so that means we get a first-round pick, but now we don't have Casey Mize. Karinchak, Garrett Crochet to the Yankees. Okay, so now we need a starting pitcher. because we lose Casey Mize. We get a first-round pick. I don't really care about the first-round pick, but now we need a starting pitcher. How do we go about getting a starting pitcher now? Ooh, I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought he would sign back with us. Okay, that makes it interesting now. 60 million contracts, okay. There's not really a starting pitcher that I want in free agency, and I can't afford anybody in free agency. Let's keep moving. About a week. Alec Boehm signs with the Phillies. Peter Fairbanks with the Red Sox. Are we getting guys signed? Okay, a lot of our tender contract guys are signing, which is perfect. The expensive money is the arbitration guys. We won't find out about them until later. We will not find out about those guys until a little bit later. We can't lose Logan Gilbert, that's for sure. Big trade. Cardinals trading David Peterson away to the Mets for JT Schwartz and Julio Vargas. Isaac Paredes, I apologize, signs with the Angels for 7 years. All of our tender contract players signed. We have $70 million in available budget, but that's good enough. That's good enough to sign all these arbitration guys. Okay, that's good to know. That is good to know that we have enough money. That we have enough money to play with here. But who is the guy that we go after? Tristan McKenzie for the Guardians, 14-10. Skubal. Could we try to outbid for Tristan McKenzie? He wants a lot of money. That's a lot of money for Tristan McKenzie. That puts us over a little bit. Is he even worth that? Ian Anderson might be worth it more. He's 28. Tristan's 29. He doesn't want that long of a deal, which is good for us because he won't be expensive. So that's 72. Okay, I could probably drop that a little bit. Withdraw the offer. So if we give him a 2-year deal for 28, that's 71.1 for Ian Anderson. We would have to move on from somebody to free up enough money. It wouldn't have to be anybody crazy. Just like, who else? Who's making enough money that we'd have to move on from? Maybe Brian Abreu? We move on from Brian Abreu since he's on last year of his deal. We'll have to figure it out as we go. Free agency. Ian Anderson still mulling offers. Ian Anderson signs with the Reds on a 2-year deal, $28 million. Okay, so now we have another starting pitcher, a pitcher to replace Casey Mize. And if we bring back Logan Gilbert, that'll be good. But now we just need to free up just that little bit extra money. So if we trade Brian Abreu and get another bullpen arm who is making less than 2.3. Who's a bullpen arm that's good, making less than 2.3? Davis Sharp. Davis Sharp could be interesting. I like him. He's an option. Let's see. Who else? No, he's too old. Let's see. Is there anybody making decent money that's young? Or that's, Bryce Elder could be a really good shout, but he's not under contract just yet. So maybe we wait. Let's wait a little bit until maybe he accepts a contract. Wait, is he under... Let me go back to the Braves. What was he under? Is he under... What, the same thing we're waiting on? Because that could hurt us. He is on arbitration, so we'd have to wait around the same time as our guys. Select the 40-man roster. Okay, so let's select the 40-man roster. We have 39, 40. So we have guys on the 40-man roster already. But is it everybody that I want? Is it everybody that I want? Who's not on the 40-man roster? AAA roster. 40 man. So all these top guys are on there. Encarnacion, Ralph Franco aren't on there. I don't mind that. It's okay. What about the double-A team? The double-A team, we have Freehand on there. I don't really care about anybody else on this double-A team being on the roster, so that's not a big deal. But we do need players up here on the big league club, so let's call up Jay Allen, promote him, and we could promote... Who else should we promote? Maybe another pitcher? Like Robbie Martins? Does he get the call-up? For now he does. We'll see what happens here. Today's the last day to offer salary arbitration. I think we already did that. McKenzie goes to the Orioles. Some big names. Just get rid of all that. We've offered arbitration to everybody, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's keep moving. Ronald Acuna signs a 10-year deal with the Cardinals. That's crazy. 10-year, $330 million. So now he comes in division. That's not good. Ronald Acuna is now in the division on the Cardinals. And who's else in free agency? A bunch of old guys are in free agency. All players must have tenor contracts. I think we signed all of our tenor. Yeah, we did. We signed all of our tenor contracts, so we don't have to worry about that. Gregory Soto gets traded to the Astros from the White Sox. Tarek Skubal goes to the Pirates. Cardinals getting better. Man, our division is getting stronger. That's not good. The Cardinals are going crazy in free agency. Signing a bunch of players. Sal Stewart got picked up in the Rule 5 draft. That's, I think, the only guy that I noticed got taken. Tony Gonsolin. Man, the Cardinals are absolutely out of control. The Cardinals are going crazy. Alcala gets traded. Kevin Biggio to the Rockies. Dylan Carlson signs with the Angels. Jazz Chisholm signs with the Rays. I didn't know Jazz was even in free agency. I love me Jazz Chisholm. Smooth Jazz. Willie Castro traded to the Rays. We should be coming up on arbitration pretty soon. Who else is in free agency? Nolan Arenado and Xander Bogaerts both have not been picked up yet. I know they're super old. The Mets are offering him a contract. Xander Bogaerts on a... Oh, no, we can't afford a one-year deal for $20 million. I thought he was going to be cheap. I thought we could get him on a cheap deal. All right, now we're into arbitration time. We're getting close this next week. All right, here we go. Arbitration hearings. So we have to pay Kirilloff 3.9, Logan Gilbert 7.3, and De La Cruz 3.5. All right, that's the first day of arbitration. Let's go see if... what's the budget looking like now? The budget is 41.7. Okay, so let's go see if the Braves on the first day sign their relief pitcher. No, he's not on the first day of free agency. Okay. Tamar Johnson, 4.3. Jesus Slaughter, 1.8. Ronnie Mauricio, 5.1. Sosa, Arenado signs with the Mets. No surprise there. Xander Bogaerts signed with the White Sox. The budget is $30 million. Did the Braves sign their guy? He's still waiting. 4.1 for Drew Jones. A lot of inbox stuff. Adley 3.4, 6.4 for Julio, 3.8 for Hunter Green, 3.2 for Quinn Priester, 4.1 for you, 2.2. All right, that's everybody. It should be. And the budget is 2.8. Okay. So now, if we go to the Braves, they hopefully have signed their guy. 1.6, that's cheaper than Brian Abreu. We'd also have to give them something back in return. So let's give them... We have a bunch of second basemen. Let's give them Diego Escobar, I guess. All right, so this trade will be done. Brian Abreu goes to the Braves. We bring in a guy to help us out. Bryce Elder, who becomes our best relief pitcher overall-wise. We need to move down Robbie Martins now. And we probably need to move down Jay Allen. Yeah, we need to move down Jay Allen. He's out of waivers, though. Or out of options, at least. That's not good. I may have made an oopsie. Who's got options that we can afford to move down? Matt McLean's out of options. That sucks. Patino has an option. Okay, so we have a couple options. Zach Britton has an option, too. All right, so one of these relief pitchers is going to have to go down. And I think it's going to have to be... It's going to have to be Zach Britton, I would guess. Right? Is that a good idea? Yeah, let's move Zach Britton down. We can always call him back up if we need to. So he goes down there. All right, so now the budget. We're negative 1.58 in yearly surplus, but that's okay because this is the final season. We got our starting pitcher rotation. We've got our lineup. It's the exact same because we kind of had to. We couldn't really afford to change it. And we move on. What's the profile? A couple guys that we don't really care about. And we move on to the spring. Let's keep moving. There it is. Spring training is upon us. Next episode will be the spring training highlights and all that good stuff that you know about for the final season. It'll start the final season next episode. Well, we'll start the final season for the spring, and then the episode after that will be the official opening day for the final season. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Let me know down in the comments if you think I made some mistakes. Let me know what you thought of the offseason. Maybe I should have traded some people that I didn't end up trading that you thought I should have. Maybe I should have traded Shohei. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the offseason. And thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.